Hello everyone, Marcia back today from One Scrap at a Time, and I have another scrapbook process video to show you today for the Stash Bash March YouTube Hop. And this month we're concentrating on using up our wood veneers. So I wanted to do something special with my wood veneer, and so what I'm doing here is I am covering a portion of my wood veneer with some washi tape, and then I'm inking the part that shows with some Versamark ink. And then I cover it up with some gold embossing powder. This one that I'm using is from Stampendous. And add a little heat to it, and it sets up that gold, and it makes a really unique wood veneer piece. It just adds a lot of elegance and glitz to plain old wood veneer. So the wood veneer that I'm using here is from the Coco Vanilla Studios Wild Heart collection. And I love the scripty words that are in this pack of wood veneer. So this technique is just so cool. I think I'm going to be doing this a lot more. You can use some solid color embossing powder if you like to add a little bit of color, and it would be a lot like the Pink Fresh wood veneer, I think, then, if you've seen that with the multicolor wood veneer. I always thought it was so cool. Alright, so I'm using a cut file today from Dehn-Nix Studios, and it's called the Lotus Background, and it's just a beautiful cut file. And I wanted to add some yellow because the center of a lotus blossom has a little bit of yellow, and so I am putting some yellow gelatos on with just a water brush pen, and I put the blue burlap behind here just so that you can see better what I'm doing. I am going to be putting some pattern paper behind the lotus blossoms so that the individual lotus blossoms will stand out better, and then fussy cutting around and removing the pieces that I don't want. So I picked out a couple different pattern papers from Maggie Holmes' Style Board collection. This is, I've had it in my stash for, oh my gosh, maybe up to 5 years already. So I wanted to keep my lotus blossoms mostly white, and I'm using one yellow pattern paper here also. So I'm just staggering the colors around, alternating where I want the different colors, and then fussy cutting them out. And then once I'm done with all of this, I'll be putting it on a solid piece of pattern paper in the back so that those individual lotus blossoms will stand out better. So here I am, I'm about to attach it to another one of Maggie Holmes' Style Board's background papers, and this one had musical notes, staffs on it. I debated between the brown background and this green that I'm cutting here for the border now, and I decided that the lotus flowers showed up better on the brown background. That I thought it might have been too busy with this greenish blue background. I don't know if later I'm kind of wondering if I regret that decision, but so here now I'm putting some strips around the edge because this cut file that I used did not go all the way out to the edge. I didn't want it to. I wanted to leave a little bit of a border on the edge. So I cut some 1/2-inch strips of pattern paper to put on the edge. So the photo I'm using is from the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum, and we went there a couple years ago when they had Nature's Connect. It's a bunch of art from an artist named Sean Kenny, and he does these awesome Lego sculptures. They are amazing. So this dragonfly is a roseate skimmer dragonfly, and he is 8.5 feet long. He's 8 feet wide. He's 5 feet tall. They have him situated in a pond at the Arboretum. So as you're walking through the gardens at the Arboretum, they had, oh my gosh, I think about a dozen of these Lego statues staggered throughout their gardens, and it was just gorgeous. So this dragonfly took 515 hours to complete. It has 27,788 Lego pieces. It's amazing. So again, this is a piece of art from Sean Kenny in the Nature Connect display, and it's a traveling display. So if it comes near you, you've got to go see it. It's amazing. All right, so let's get back to my layout. So I wanted to create a little corner detail for my wood veneer title. So I cut a little triangle piece here to put in the corner. It also helps balance the layout out, because I'm putting my photo in the upper left-hand side of the layout. So to balance it out, I wanted something on the lower right corner. So this is where I am going to put my title. So I am mounting my photo here on some old chipboard sticker backing. It's just a way to conserve my supplies, and then I add a little bit of foam tape, and it doesn't take as much foam tape, and it stabilizes my photo better. So then I like to distress the edges a bit, just with my fingers, just so it's not straight and flat to the page. I want it to have a little bit of dimension. So we're going to play around here with the ephemera pieces. I don't think these are all from the Style Board collection. They may be from other Maggie Holmes collections, but I don't know. It seems to me like a lot of the Maggie Holmes collections are very similar. So you can mix and match the pieces very easily, and the collections merge together really well. So I like the butterflies in this collection, since I'm out in the gardens, and the birds. So I also pulled out some wood veneer birds too, thinking I would be using those as well as the ones from the Cocoa Vanilla Wild Heart collection for the title. So I like the and little die cut ephemera piece here, because it goes so well with my title, Bloom and Grow. So for sure I'm going to use that. So I'm adhering this one down. And then I'll glue on my wood veneer. This is definitely a technique I'm going to use again. I just love how these wood veneer pieces turned out. You do have to be careful with some of the, like these scripty words. You can see that my bloom broke, the B broke from the rest of the word. But it still works. I was able to glue it back together, and you can't even tell that it was broke. But do be careful if you're using some thin pieces of wood veneer when you're applying your ink and embossing powder. Alright, so we're going to start to adhere down some of these ephemera pieces, and I'm still playing around, thinking I want to put some tags behind my photo or do something. I do like this best day little phrase piece. So I'm going to put that down there. So I'm going to continue to display with some die cut pieces here and add here my flare piece down. I'm usually a late night scrapper, so sometimes when I've been scrapping at night, I look at it the next morning and I'm like, I don't know. And that's what I kind of did with this layout. I thought it was too busy. And so another thing is I hadn't done any journaling yet. And I really wanted to tell this story about this dragonfly. So I went ahead and did some computer journaling and printed it on a piece of craft cardstock. So I was playing around with some wood veneer birds here as well, and I wanted to do the Versamark embossing powder on them as well. And this one bird I'm putting down on here too, he broke as well. He's very delicate, and he broke as well, but I was able to glue it back together. You can't tell either. But for the birds, I didn't do half the bird. I did the whole thing, and so maybe it would have been better if I had done half. Maybe he wouldn't have broke. But it turned out. So I'm adding some jute string here. I wanted to do a more natural thread, natural fiber on my layout versus baker's twine. So I'm putting in, there was a die cut button I put in there on my and tag, and I'm putting some jute string also through this die cut tag piece I put on above my photo. So here I am, I'm coming back the next morning and I'm putting in my journaling card. I really like computer journaling, so much better than my own handwriting. It's neater. I can get more words in. So I do a lot of computer journaling. So I'm going to add a few more die cut pieces in here. And I had some of these SEI glitter dots that matched my gold glitter on my wood veneer so well that I wanted to use some of these too. But they wouldn't stick on their own, so I had to go and add some glue to the bottoms of them to make them stick a little better. Alright, so I have some close-ups coming up for you. If you're interested in the Stash Bash hops, see the comments section of this process video. Thank you.